Coming up on Fulton Today, it's time to head to the polls.
I'm Brian Robinson outside the Registration and Elections Department. Before you take advantage of early voting, I'll make sure you're properly prepared to cast your vote.
Also, Fulton's Board of Assessors meet as assessment notices are prepped for postal delivery. And seniors prove they are still young at heart and still have the heart to give. That and more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Early voting for the general and special election is officially underway. Fulton has multiple polling locations, multiple days to vote, and multiple things you should know before you cast your ballot. FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now with more on this story. Brian?
Shania, registered voters across the county have ample opportunity to take advantage of the early voting period, as long as they possess the right information.
Here at the Fulton County Government Center and at 20 other county locations, early voting is officially underway. From now until May 18th, registered county voters can cast their ballot. Before heading out the door, it's important to remember to bring one of 6 forms of identification.
6 forms of identification are eligible for voters to use. They can use a passport, a driver's license, tribal ID, military ID, any form of government ID. It just has to have a photo on the identification.
Voting times are Monday through Saturday from 8:30 a.m. until 7 o'clock p.m. And on the one Sunday option on May 6th, residents can vote from noon until 5 p.m. On the ballot are the races for Fulton County Commissioners in odd-numbered districts. There's also a governor's race and other state and local seats up for grabs. It's why elections officials are reminding residents to know before they go to understand what's on the ballot.
Voters should be looking for head of household mailings during the first week of early voting, and also precinct cards for those that are in one of about 29 to 30 affected precincts where we had to make polling place changes.
Voters who prefer to wait until Election Day, May 22nd, will have to vote at their designated precinct, which may have changed since they last cast a ballot.
When you vote early, usually you can avoid lines. You get to pick the place you want to vote, the time you want to vote. On Election Day, you're restricted to that one site, and if you have things going on that day already, you may not have as much choice in when you want to vote.
Elections officials say they have made the process even more efficient. However, voters who have any questions on any issues are encouraged to call the elections office before they head to the polls.
Once again, the early voting period ends Friday, May 18th. To see a full list of the early voting polling locations, as well as to learn more about the elections, you can log on to FultonElections.com. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you very much, Brian. Meanwhile, the Fulton County Board of Assessors meet as assessment notices prepare to hit mailboxes. During their monthly meeting, Chief Appraiser Dwight Robinson and the 5-member board discussed multiple topics, including the head of household postcard property owners should have by now that informs them about the assessment notice mailing schedule. Notices will be in the mail and online starting May 22nd.
I think we've worked hard to make sure that the assessments are fair and reasonable. If you disagree and you think that the values that we've placed on your property are in error, I urge you to appeal. You can appeal your assessment. You cannot appeal your bill. You will have 45 days from the date on the assessment notice to appeal if you think that the values are wrong.
Fulton has launched a campaign to help residents understand their Fulton County property assessment and the process. Commissioners are also hosting town hall meetings about the assessments process. We'll have more on that coming up in our district by district coverage. But to learn more, you can call the assessor's office at 404-612-6440 or log on to fultonassessor.org. The transition of county employees to the city of South Fulton is nearing completion. Employees with Parks and Recreation and Transportation hear the latest news about when they will move to the county's newest city. The transition of the two remaining departments is expected to go as smoothly as the previous transitions, most recently the fire and police departments.
It's a lot of work, but we're excited about the transition process. At the top of that list is making sure that we take care of all of our staff, all of our employees. They're the most important resource that we have. And so we want to make sure that all of that is running as smoothly as possible. And of course, behind the scenes, there's a lot of nuts and bolts and planning that's been going on.
As has been the case in all of the meetings, those in attendance were encouraged to ask questions and address any rumors they may have heard.
We had a full house, a lot of good dialogue back and forth. We're very lucky to have Odie Donald, the new city manager from South Fulton, came and answered a lot of the questions that people had, which is very helpful because I cannot answer the questions about the city, and he really could. So it is very beneficial having him here today.
Regular meetings with South Fulton are occurring in preparation for the remaining department's transition. Parks and Rec is currently scheduled to move June 4th, but that date could be moved up to May 28th. Transportation is likely to move in November. A group of international visitors pay a visit to the Fulton County Jail. The Sheriff's Office welcomes a delegation of justice system officials from the Republic of Georgia. While interacting with staff during their tour of the Rice Street facility, the delegation was taught about Fulton's justice system. They also learned about inmate programs and procedures.
They get an understanding of how we handle our judicial system, especially on the side of the housing of individuals who are pretrial detainees.
The visit from the Republic of Georgia team is the continuation of a partnership the Sheriff's Office has with the Open World program.
Our experience has been very positive, and we will learn very much from this visit. And with this opportunity, I would like to thank everybody who participated in these meetings.
Open World is an United States exchange program that has enabled more than 27,000 current and former leaders from different countries to engage and interact with members of Congress, congressional staff, and thousands of other Americans. Fulton County judges turned their courtrooms into classrooms to prepare college students for the launch of their legal careers. FGTV's Felicia Church explains how even community and school groups got involved.
And how much alimony is Sandra paying you right now?
$3,000.
This looks like any normal trial inside the Fulton County Courthouse. But if you look closely, you'll notice the prosecution and defense teams, as well as the jurors, are incredibly young. You may also notice Superior Court Judge Gail Toussaint is not in her normal position behind the bench. That's because she is hosting a mock trial for Emory Law students to help them prepare for their bar exam.
And as counsel, real counsel, you would know how to do that.
Judge Toussaint is an adjunct professor at Emory Law School, and this mock trial is the final exam in her civil trial techniques class.
It's a great exercise for the law students and helps them, we believe, to get that practical experience that will enable them to kind of hit the ground running once they pass the bar.
Held in 4 courtrooms and observed by Judge Toussaint's legal peers, the mock trial gives the aspiring judges and attorneys practical experience.
It's my personal first opportunity to enact the trial, not only the procedure, but also get an idea for the courtroom setting of the whole affair.
The mock trial also gives high school students from Miller Grove and Thurl the opportunity to be jurors and learn more about the legal process.
I think it's a great experience. I always wanted to feel what it is to be a juror or being a judge or being like an attorney point of view. And right now I'm experiencing it. I think it's a good experience for me.
It's actually a great experience being here, learning what we'll be having to do when we get older, and just listening and understanding both parties of what their wants and claims.
As jurors, the high school students were given an attorney as their foreperson so they could ask questions and decipher between what they see on TV courtroom dramas and real life.
They see Law and Order and they see things on TV, so I believe that the mock trial gives them opportunity to see what a real trial is like as far as the procedure, the importance of questions, the way certain questions are asked, the rules of evidence, voir dire. It allows them to see the real versus the televised courtroom.
The students can also decide if becoming a judge or a lawyer is a path they want to take later in life.
And even if they don't want to be lawyers or judges, there's so many opportunities for career professional tracks within the legal system that it certainly will give them something to think about.
A career in the legal system can also be a track to remaining on the right side of the law. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Felicia Church.
Thank you very much, Felicia. Still to come on Fulton Today, a group of seniors are thanked for their thousands of volunteer hours. We'll have that and more in our District by District coverage next. North Fulton residents weigh in on the tax assessment process, and South Fulton seniors are thanked for their volunteer service. Here's this week's District by District coverage. We began with Chairman Rob Pitts at the Harriet G. Darnell Senior Multi-Purpose Facility, where seniors are thanked for their volunteer service. The annual volunteer luncheon gives Fulton Senior Services Department a chance to applaud the center participants for their willingness to serve in an unselfish way. These two seniors collectively gave over 1,700 hours of service.
I volunteer because I love people. Now, if my goal is to help somebody, I feel like if I can help one somebody, my living won't be in vain.
I volunteer because it is the glory of my life. I love not to be loved. I serve not to be served. And I give not to get.
Fulton commissioners say the volunteers are the ones who most help the programs to be successful.
The truth of the matter is, without their time and effort and energy, we probably wouldn't be able to afford everything that they are able to take advantage of because of the volunteers. We simply wouldn't have the money.
Staff highlighted 10 of the seniors who had donated the most service time to the center. Volunteered hours translate into thousands of saved dollars for taxpayers. Fulton County Commissioner Liz Hausman holds a town hall meeting at Chattahoochee High School to discuss the 2018 property assessments. The North Fulton representative wanted to provide information and assistance to understanding how property is assessed, given that the assessment notices will be mailed out in late May.
We anticipate that this year valuations will continue to have increased. We've worked really hard to provide relief to property owners in the last couple of years, and this year we just want to let people know what their options are, if they disagree with their valuations, what's going to be on the November ballot in individual cities and for the school system with regard to potentially adding to the homestead exemptions that are currently in place. So it's an information session so that people understand what to expect.
Residents appreciated the opportunity to hear directly from county staff about the process and about how to appeal if they wanted to use that option.
I hope to learn as much as I possibly can as to why and how Fulton County goes about assessing my real property. And I'm also interested to see what other developments have happened legally regarding any cap on assessments.
Again, assessment notices will be mailed out later this month. You can visit fultonassessor.org for more information about your property assessments. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. continues his District Dialogues series at the Bethlehem at Burdine Senior Center. The commissioner wants to not only hear from seniors about their concerns, but wants to also inform them about the latest county news and upcoming events.
One of those that I'm very excited about is our Living Out Loud program, which is being offered at our art centers as a pilot program. for our seniors. There's an opportunity for us to kind of live beyond the walls of our senior facilities, but also an opportunity to open up our art centers, which are somewhat underutilized during the day.
I heard some things today that I wasn't aware of, and I'm glad I'm here to hear. I enjoyed the presentation on the library, because I sometimes use the public library.
This is the third stop on the quarterly meetings tour. The next one will be at the Bowden Center in August. Bethlehem is inside the John C. Burdine Neighborhood Center and was reopened in November last year after it was renovated. And up next on Fulton Today, remembering the health commissioner in a lasting way on the anniversary of her death. Stay with us. One of the most popular months of the year in Fulton County is May. That's because Fulton has a very active senior population, and May is the nation's observance of Older Americans Month. The 2018 theme, Engage at Every Age, emphasizes that you are never too old or too young to take part in activities that can enrich your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Dr. Pamela Rochelle is the director of Fulton Senior Services Department. Welcome back to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
So we just shared the theme for this year's Older Americans Month observance. What's on tap for Fulton County this year?
Well, this year's Older Americans Month celebration will include many opportunities to engage at any age. From everything from spelling bees to line dance jamborees, we have hat fashion shows, mother's brunch, we have all sorts of activities in health, fitness, and life enrichment.
Yes, and this theme really speaks to what Fulton is already doing year-round in terms of its senior programming.
Fulton County Senior Services is committed to engaging older adults all year long. We really are focused on this effort to address social isolation. Many of our programs in life enrichment and health and fitness are very popular. Some even have waiting lists to get in. So we're really excited about the opportunity to showcase many of our most popular programs and even new opportunities for engagement during Older Americans Month.
I understand there is a hashtag for seniors who want to share socially.
So one of our most popular programs during our regular course session is related to computers and social media. So yes, we have a hashtag for Older Americans Month. It's hashtag FulcoOAM18.
And Dr. Rochelle, your final thoughts about Older Americans Month in Fulton County this year.
Please join us at one of our 4 multipurpose facilities. We want you to engage at any age. You can learn more about all of the fun and engaging events going on by calling our information and referral number 404-613-6000. Remember, engage at any age, and happy Older Americans Month.
Absolutely. Happy Older Americans Month. Dr. Pamela Rochelle, thanks for joining us, and I'm sure we will be seeing you at the events this year.
Thanks again for having me.
Now, to see the full calendar of Fulton's Older Americans Month events and schedule, visit the county's website. Fulton shuts down its health operations for a few hours to make sure that its Board of Health staffers have all hands on deck.
Lawrence Fulton Annex.
Right after the roll call of facilities, the district director provided an update on new policies, new staffers, and new training opportunities. This gathering is called the All Hands Meeting and is now convened every 6 months.
It's a chance to hear about programs that are new and exciting. It's a chance to answer questions from staff about issues that have come up. It's a chance for me to talk about the vision of the Board of Health and how we're moving towards accreditation, which is going to take everybody working together.
Fulton's Board of Health has 8 clinic facilities and 2 offices with over 400 employees. And one of the biggest champions of the Board of Health is remembered with her own portrait. Fulton's Arts and Culture team officially unveiled the Commissioner Joan P. Garner painting in the conference room that bears her name. The portrait was hung during the first-year anniversary week of the late Vice Chair's death.
We're very excited because she was a great supporter of the arts as well as a large proponent for health and wellness, and we're great to be able to do it here at 10 Park Place.
Commissioner Garner was affectionately known as the Health Commissioner. She passed away in April 2017. And up next on Fulton Today, Arts and Culture helps residents explore new perspectives by showing off their dance moves. We'll share that story with you next. Some local youngsters have a better sense of how animals survive.
We all need water.
The Department of Public Works, Public Education and Outreach staff visited kindergartners at Liberty Point Elementary School in Union City to teach them how animals in Georgia rely on their senses to survive. It's all a part of a program called When I Grow Up. When I Grow Up teaches children how animals native to Georgia rely on water sources to survive, as well as encourages them to help animals by being water stewards as they conserve water at home and at school.
We offer programs for all ages, so we have school programs for pre-K to 12th grade. All of them are targeted towards the appropriate standards. We have programs for adults. We do citizen workshops, homeowner workshops, we do senior workshops. We can come out and talk to neighborhood groups and homeowners associations. We also do summer camp programs, and we do programs with our libraries. We do sometimes make and take workshops like rain barrels or green cleaners, so we have a variety of programs available.
If you'd like the Public Works Department Public Education and Outreach team to come to your child's school, you can just simply contact the Department of Public Works at 404-612-8006. And finally, residents young and old have a new perspective about the art of dance.
4, 5, 6, count. 7.
Arts and Culture's annual Dance Week celebrates free dance events throughout Fulton County. This year's theme, Dance Nouveau, exploring new perspectives, encourages all residents to participate in any level of dance.
This is just absolutely fantastic because from the young to the old, we'll be able to participate in dance and just keep dance going in our community.
I hope this is to be continued. This is very helpful, very useful. I love the fact that it's catered towards the seniors.
After kicking off the week with an opening gala at the Southwest Arts Center, participants were able to experience various types of dance such as hip-hop, ballroom, and West African. Now, the week did not just focus on dance moves. Classes were offered that taught dance's role in history and in different cultures.
Hopefully we'll have had a culturally enriching experience, an educational experience, and a lot of fun.
When you're talking about dancing with someone, you're talking about having a conversation with someone without even opening your mouth. And that's very important in the relational aspect, dealing with other people, and that's very important in the relational aspect, dealing with your other person.
Prior to the start of the 9-day festivities, commissioners proclaimed an official day for Dance Week 2018. And before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And you can watch a replay of this show and any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.